And their opponents today, who are the Dubai Exiles Rugby Football Club. So, play is about to get underway here on a beautiful Saturday evening in October, Saturday the 4th of October. And we have kickoff. So the Dubai Exiles had the ball in hand, a neat catch there from the Dragons. And the Dragons opting for a kick over the top, trying to release some pressure. So we have Exiles on the halfway line, deciding to have a run, not opting for a kick. Exiles looking for some early phases here. On into their third phase. David Gairn, the Exiles hooker, staying on his feet, having a good old drive, being driven also by his teammates. Another phase. So haven't quite cracked the gain line here. We've had a turnover early on. Dragons. Slight fumble there in the from the Exiles. Ball slipped through the hands, prompted the turnover, and the Dragons have been rewarded. Penalty far side, just 10 meters into the Exiles half. Couldn't see what the penalty was awarded for, but it's taken relatively quickly. Dragons opting for a kick, of course. Try and make some meters and get up closer to that Exiles try line. So line out. However, seemed to be an infringement there. There was a penalty awarded to Exiles. Quick tap taken. Looks like Tariq, one of the Exiles props, fondly known as Taz, who has also won a penalty. Seems like there was a signal there for the Dragons players coming off their feet. So penalty Exiles right in the middle of the field, just before their 10-meter line. So this is the second match, certainly for the Exiles, who played same time last week. In fact, it was a Friday evening, so one day before, so almost just over a week actually. Same pitch, similar conditions, slight southwesterly wind, blowing calmly through the air. Humidity levels are relatively low. Kick for touch, got a neat dipping kick there. Dragons unable to take it clean. In fact, there was a foot that went out to kind of bring it under control. A little bit of football skills there, but ball went astray from the Dragons player and it's gone out into touch. So we have the Exiles hooker David Gairn with ball in hand, ready to take the throw. So the game's finally poised in a deadlock. Great line-out routine there from the Exiles. Centre taking a big hit there. Superb defence there from the Dragons, where not only did they stop the player, they drove him back. And Exiles spinning the ball out left this time, trying to get it out to the wing, to the winger who was had some neat light footwork there, but brought down. But Exiles still retaining ball here. Very good work. Nice neat drive there, making a good 6, 7 metres. Ball being spun out to the left. John Donnan, the Exiles captain, neatly handing off. And Exiles coming out to the right wing with a potential knock-on there that could be deemed a deliberate knock-on, and it unfortunately is for the Dragons. That's a yellow card, so the left winger for the Dragons unfortunately being sin-binned. That has resulted in a penalty, of course, and the ref wanting a quick word with the Dragons captain. So that was Keelan Stale, number 11 for Dragons, who unfortunately was deemed to have made a deliberate knock-on and has put his team on the back foot here. So 1 man down, Dragons. It's a little bit of a disadvantage here. So Exiles opting for the kick, of course, edging closer, possibly 5 metres out from the Dragons try line. Exiles hooker, Dave Gaines, stepping up for a throw-in. So Exiles looking for their neat routine, probably involving John Donnan, the lock and captain for the Dubai Exiles. And as predicted, it's on for a driving maul. And the drive maul has come close to the Dragons try line, and the ball's held up. That was very good defence there from the Dragons. Should have been converted there by Exiles. 5 metres out, neat routine, collect and drive, unable to convert. Boys in white here having most of the possession. So nice high ball there from under the posts. Collected neatly by John Donnan. Exiles lock, spinning it out to Liam Caldwell. The Exile centre. Ball's moved back to the centre of the field, exactly where Exiles want it, where they can neatly build their phase play, and a superb hands there from Lucas Waddington. Ball in hand went to Jean Boates from the Exiles. David Gann showing his forwards prowess here by busting through the line there. Went neatly to Taz. Taz has built the second play, gone out to Liam, and Liam has very neatly handed off to what could be is his fullback, I'm guessing here, but what an absolutely brilliant offload by the Exile centre, which has resulted in a try, and that too underneath the posts. So Exiles 5-0 up with within the first 10 minutes. So early points on the board. So Exiles last week started in the same fashion actually, playing against Bahrain, probably one of the toughest opponents that they're going to come across in their first match at home, same pitch, and within 10 to 15 minutes they were almost 13-0 up, I think, if I remember correctly. 2 points have been added here, easy conversion for what I would believe to be Tom Stapley, the Exiles number 10, returning to the club after a period out. Nice little bit of chirp there from the Exiles hooker, referring to one of the Dragons' tackles as a sofa tackle. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure he meant for it to get under the skin of the Dragons. So we have the restart, nice high ball, collected neatly by the Exiles, who have moved into their second phase already. Some neat hands here from the Exiles. Got the ball right out to the wing, who are dancing through and breaking through the Dragons' defence here somewhat easily. finally brought down about 15 meters over the halfway line into the Dragons half. Scrum half doing extremely well here for the Exiles. All seems to be going Exiles' way at the moment. But we have a knock on there from the Exiles 13, 12, should I say, Liam Caldwell, inside centre. So the knock-on has resulted in, of course, a scrum down. Blue ball. Chance for the Blues to get some ball in hand and try and get some, try and put some pressure, get these men in white in their lovely retro kit. Of course, it's the 60th anniversary for the Dubai Exiles. Their diamond anniversary. So, battle of the forwards here. Dragons retaining ball, getting ball out. Number 10 making a nice, neat try. Trying to get over the gain line, which he's done successfully. Andre Snetler. Ball being recycled well here. The Dragons, they're not giving up. Halfway line. Alistair Hazel, the Dragons number 9, recycling. Giving it to his number 10, who's kicked it, where it's collected by Exile. They've kicked it back, now it's gone back. A little bit of kick tennis going on here. And a neat up and under, which has been collected. However, Dragons were not advancing back fast enough. Penalty awarded to the Exiles. Great game here so far. Good pressure from the Exiles. But pressure needs to be converted into points. This is something that they missed out on last week. Losing, unfortunately, to the travelling Bahrain Rugby Football Club. Exiles last week had plenty of pressure, plenty of ball in hand, but just couldn't convert when it came down to the crunch, when they were inside the 22 of the opposition. However, here we have another neat line-out routine. John Donnan reaching for the skies, collecting the ball easily. Lovely ball out from him. Exile scrum half, Arthur Guandaru, recycling this ball really nicely inside centre for Exiles, trying to put a neat chip and run over the top, but it unfortunately went straight into a Dragons player. However, we see the same happening on the left-hand side. The Exiles doing a neat chip over the top and chip and chase. However, we have a little bit of a celebration here from the Exiles players, but unfortunately the ref has other plans. Signalling ball has been held up. A good pressure here from Exiles, and Dragons at the moment staying in it. We're yet to see some of their attack plays. They're having to defend most of the time, the boys in blue. So, referee taking his time, trying to explain why this has happened. We should be having the so the decision looks like Looks like a try could have been awarded, as we see the referee overturn his own decision. Conversion is successful.
Let's go, Dragons! It's all right, Harry. Seriously. Down the side.
So we're just having it confirmed here whether that was actually an overturned decision on the try or not. However, the penalty stroke conversion was actually successful, so the points will be updated just very shortly. However, from the restart, we've got an early kick from the Exiles, which has gone straight out, unfortunately. So players brought right back to the 22 for the Exiles 22. So we do have confirmation that a try was not awarded. In fact, it was a penalty which was successfully kicked by the Exiles. So they now stand at 10 points to 0. Just had a quick restart there from the try line, and the ball was actually turned back towards the centre of the park for the Dragons. They've taken the ball straight into the middle of the field. It has now resulted in a penalty in favour of the boys in blue, who look like they're going to be opting for a kick. They need some points on the board. This will relieve some of the pressure which Exiles have created in this opening 20-odd minutes. So we've got the number 10 for the Dragons lining up. Should be a straightforward kick. Andre Snetler. And is successful, as suspected. So a lovely 3 points there for the Dragons. Back in it. So Exiles lead 10 points to 3 in the opening 20 minutes of this showdown versus the two Dubai teams. Blues versus Whites, Dragons versus Exiles. From the restart, nice high kick, straight into the 22, collected neatly by the Dragons, who have got a leg drive going on. Superb territory there. Ball has been kicked back by the Exiles, and yet again kicked back by the Dragons, who have, it's been collected by the Exiles, who have yet again kicked it back. Dragons transferring the ball from left to right, and going to opt to have a little bit of a run here. However, neat little intercept there from a retreating Exiles player. Dragons in trouble here. Looks like they're going to need to have their blue wall stacked up properly against this white blitz coming up. Exiles into their third phase, edging closer to the middle of the pitch. Trying to break through, trying to get past this blue defence. Trying to break that line. Nice little spin pass out to the right-hand side. However, the Exiles at 11, skipping through 2-3 tackles, being brought down just 10 metres out. We can hear a shout of "give it" from the left-hand side. However, the Exiles are snapped back after going right to left. Absolutely tiring out this Dragons defence. Exiles happy to do this, of course, as they are able to rely on this experienced pack of Gaines, Donnan, Jean Boites, a lot of UAE caps in there. Neat little chip over through, and we have a grubber, resulting in a sprinting left winger from the Exiles, who's come in and neatly collected 5 points. Try there, Exiles. Smart play. Jean Boites, a lot of UAE caps in there. Neat little chip over through, and we have grubber with the Exiles winger sprinting very neatly round the side onto the ball. Dragons didn't have an answer for that, unfortunately. They didn't have any form of sweeper at the back. And unfortunately caught napping as the ball got snapped back from the right all the way back over to the left. So very neat play, very good play there from the Exiles, stretching the Dragons' defence. Exactly how this game is neatly played at its best, using the width of the pitch. So we saw a conversion attempt there from the Exiles. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. So with another 5 points on the board, we see Exiles advancing a little bit further. 15 points to 3 for the men in white. Restart, high kick, called very neatly by Exiles. And unfortunately, a rather sliced kick and didn't really make the yardage. There's a bit of a shank there with the old 60-degree. Nevertheless, Dragons are neatly lined up for their line-out routine. Here we go. Gone right to the back, gone for a 7. Collecting neatly, spun out to the middle of the field. Blues this time trying to bust through the line. Get past that Exiles defence. Not past the gain line yet, but a nice kick pass there. But unfortunately wasn't collected successfully by the Dragons winger. Good thinking. Very neat. So Dragons do have a few tricks up their sleeve here. So Dragons have got to start working this out, because they haven't been up into the Exiles half, not much in the Exiles grill, unfortunately. But this is their chance. What are they going to do? Almost 25 minutes gone. However, we saw an infringement here, so refs awarded a penalty right in the middle of the park, right in front of the sticks. So Snetler slotting it through from the 22 mark. So Exiles penalised there for an infringement just as the kick pass took place. So, good exciting game here, lots of rugby. Lots of phases, lots of running rugby. Seen some neat penalties slotted in from the side. So that resulted in another 3 points for the Dragons. So they've managed to get up to 6 now. This is Exiles 15. So still 9 points adrift. Within reach though. So from the replay, we see Dragons taking the ball and opting for a kick. And the Exiles fullback opting for his own kick. Chasing it unsuccessfully, but it was caught very well by the Dragons up to the halfway line. Been a little bit of a stalemate. And up and under here, so the Exiles left winger new player. Arshan Khan taking a neat catch there and recycling for his team. Exiles back into their phase play. Donnan wanted the ball there as a decoy. Ball's gone out the back door and gone up. Unfortunately not a clean collect, but he did well there, the Dragons player who was underneath the ball. Knocked it back. A lot of kicking going on here. A lot of wanting to relieve pressure. However, we see one of the big Dragons taking a powerful run there through, making serious yardage. Beautiful offload here from the Dragons. However, so I've just seen a darting run by one of the biggest guys in the Dragons. Beautiful carry. Some good intent there from the Dragons. I think they can take this game to the Exiles a little bit closer than they've seen in the first kind of 15 minutes. Seem to be approaching the half-an-hour mark. So the referee brought play back to the centre of the park for a penalty. And the Dragons opted to kick for touch on the right-hand side.
Just a picture, okay?
So up to the 22. What can the Exiles do here? Really needing to show their own strength of defence here. As a couple of times that the Dragons have been running, it seems as though they really want to and can break this Exiles defence. But it's going to be tough, not easy. So the Exiles pack today consisting of Lucas Waddington at 1, David Gairn at hooker, Tariq as the other prop, Will Simonite at lock, alongside the captain John Donnan at number 5, Matt Johnston and Anthony Capp playing as flankers today, with the ever-reliable Jean Boatis, UAE's most capped player, at number 8. So the restart has seen a driving maul here somewhat, with the Dragons really kind of upping the tempo here. Here we go. Ball in hand. Have they got the feet? Have they got the ability to spot these gaps in the Exiles' defence? Ball's out loose, but penalty given to the Dragons. Are they going to opt quick? It's gone back another 10. Very close there. So Exiles being marched back here. They need to watch the chat, or the referee will start giving some yardages to the opposition. So perhaps some unnecessary chat there leads us to a penalty, middle of the park, inside the 22, right in front of the sticks. Dragons got a chance to put another 3 on the board, close that gap, which stands at 9 points adrift at the moment. Can they bring it down by another 3? Absolutely they can. Easy conversion for Snetler, who's brought his kicking boots today. Bright orange boots, can't miss him. So some ill discipline has cost the Exiles here 3 points. So the restart was because of a converted penalty, which has given the Dragons now a total of 9 points to the Exiles 15. Only 6 points adrift. So some kick tennis perhaps starting again. Exiles opting not to kick this time, but to really bust through and try and get some territory back. Ball's gone out from Arthur, the Exiles number 9, to Lucas Waddington. Still not quite made it past the gain line. However, inching further, closer and closer. Some good plays by the centre there. However, the outside centre for the Exiles came crashing down. But he's okay, he's on his feet. David Gairn doing what he does best. Testing out the defence of the opposition. So a good attempt there from the Dragons to jackal over the top, but unfortunately didn't win the shoulder battle. Liam Caldwell squaring up, trying to smash his way through the Dragons' defence here. They seem to be holding up. Got Jean Boates, number 8, the ever reliable, trying to do the same. Good phase play here. Arthur's come out the back door. Number 15 has put a ball up. Ball has gone back. However, the ball's kept in play by Dragons, and now it looks like the ball's gone straight out. So unfortunately, miscued kick there from the Exiles, trying to win back some territory, put the Dragons on the back foot. Didn't work. Dragons ball. Time off, called by the ref. Got an injury, looks like the big man Waddington. Prop for the Exiles, if I'm not mistaken. My eyesight serves me correctly. Chance for the teams to regroup here. I think after the fast start by the Exiles, putting the Dragons right on the back foot, getting up to 15 points very quickly, but have let Dragons back into it from 3 neatly converted penalties, which the number 10 for the Dragons, Snetler, has helped with. Time back on. Line out Dragons. Left-hand side of the pitch. Neat routine, ball's pushed back. Slight scuffle on the left-hand side of the pitch there, involving David Gairn and one of the Dragons players, but thankfully didn't result in too much. Play carries on the far side of the field. Both teams really fighting it out now. Dragons have stepped this up. They've come to the party now. They want ball in hand. Some big, big hits going in here. Superb defence. We have the Dragons number 9 on the floor. Unfortunately, it looks as though he's hurt. We have some form of injury here. Went down clutching his head. Hope he's okay. Dragons number 9, Alistair Hazel. So just some time off here for just to check a player. The Dragons number 9. He seems okay, as he's got the ball in hand. Ready to restart play. So at the restart, we see a scrum down. Dragons put in. As they come closer to the Exiles. 22. We have a big run there from the number 14 for the Dragons. He seems to really make a lot of ground here every time he's got ball in hand. As the ball is now transferred to the left-hand side, we now have an opportunity for the 11 to step inside. Has he got the footwork to be able to carry him through? It's been put out into touch by the Exiles. As we see Keelan Stale, who had earlier got a yellow card very early on in the match, collect the ball out here on the left end. And is pushed out into touch by the Exiles. So they could have really punished the Exiles there by kind of putting another 5 points and having the opportunity to put the pressure on to go ahead there. However, we have an Exiles line out, which has worked in their favour. Neat throw by Dave Gann, coming out the back door for a kick. However, it was swerving back in towards play after heading on its way out. Nice little faded ball there, but started coming the other way. So ball's into touch. So we have an infringement by the Exiles on numbers, and a quick tap taken by the Dragons here. Snetler getting his dancing shoes on. Finally brought down in the middle of the park. Oh, the big hitting Dragon. Simon Khalil, if I'm not mistaken, and number 16. Unfortunately, we had a really good drive there from the Dragons, and loose ball resulted in an Exiles turnover. However, neatly picked back up by the Dragons, who have now found their voices in the stands, which has resulted in a try. Unfortunately, we had a really good drive there from the Dragons, and 5-meter run and touchdown successfully. Much needed for the Dragons. They stayed alert, got rewarded, 5 points on the board. Well within touching distance now. And if this is a successful conversion, much needed for the Dragons, will put them in front as we go in very close to the halfway line, halfway mark of the game. Neatly slotted by Snetler. The man with the orange boots does the trick for the Dragons, which has resulted in a total of 7 points. And therefore 16 in total to the Dragons, who now lead this game for the first time against the Exiles. Something that the Exiles really didn't want going into half-time, to be on the back foot after having led the entire half. However, game on at the restart. Must be very close to half-time here. perhaps into the 1 or 2 last plays of the first half. Great catch there at the restart by the Dragons. Giving some close tips here to their forward pods. Coming out the back door and trying to find touch. I'm not sure quite what that was actually, because it went in the middle of the park, and we have some dancing shoes on here, going left, going right by the Exiles fullback. Handing off to the left winger for the Exiles, resulting in a try. Beautiful footwork. Dropping his shoulder there, left, right, left, bamboozling the boys in blue. Quite what that was actually, because it went in the middle of the park, and we have some dancing shoes on here, going left, going right by the Exiles fullback. So exactly what the Exiles wanted. They were able to convert the misdirected kick, unfortunately, which landed in the middle of the park. Exiles capitalized and punished the Dragons there, putting another 5 points on the board, getting back into the lead by 4 points, and could be another 2 with the conversion. Kicks taken resulted in a successful conversion. So half time, 21 points to 16 in favour of the Exiles versus the Dragons here at the Sevens in this Division 1 West Asia Premiership match. Great half. The game swinging one way, all in favour of the Exiles. However, the Dragons have hung on and ensured that they have picked up pieces of play that they can convert the pressure on, break the game line, keep carrying, keep their phase play, and have been very opportunistic in converting their penalties and actually the try just as we approached the halfway time. And so, just to recap, as we go into the second half, Exiles lead 21 points to 16. So we welcome you back after the break as we look to witness the second half of this all Dubai affair in the West Asia Premiership. Home team Dubai Dragons. This time starting and kicking to the Exiles for the boys in white. The away team here is the Dubai Exiles Rugby Football Club. So the restart sees a very neat kind of play here involving two players cutting across, ball comes out the back, and Exiles wanting to unfortunately try and relieve some pressure, but the ball going not very far. Collected neatly here by the Dragons, who have made some great ground here, staying on their feet, powering through, and he's managed to get through. Looks like the left winger tried there for the Dragons on the left-hand side. Some neat footwork. Who have made some great ground here, staying on their feet, powering through, and he's managed to get through. Get back against these boys in white, who have been a formidable outfit for the last few years and have been one of the teams really to beat. But the Dragons have come out of the blocks here with an early try. Conversion taken by Snapler, slotted by the ever reliable number 10 for the Dragons. 7 points within the first couple of minutes of the second half. Body language not good for the Exiles. They need to pick this up. Early days into the second half. Crowd gathering here now. I see the vice chairman of the Dubai Exiles, Mr. Angus Kennedy. So restarts has seen a deep kick by the Exiles there into the 22 for the Dragons, who opted for a kick, but unfortunately out on the full. So we see the scoreline swing once again back in favour of the Dragons. Now 22 points up versus 21 to the Exiles. This really is going to test the Exiles. Apologies, 23 points. Place 21. Two points in it. Exiles need to regather their thoughts here and work out how to convert this pressure, where they had the majority of the game played in the Dragons' half. And as we see here at the restart, we have a scrum down white ball. Scrum half Arthur for the Exiles, putting the ball in. However, it looks like we see the Dragons here winning a penalty. Massive cheer there from the Dragons pack. as they've neatly turned over the ball without even touching it. Smart play from the Dragons. Penalty in their 22. Of course, going to be opting for a kick from the boot of the Dragons fullback. Fullback today is Carl Brown, where of course, because of his left foot, was given the nod over the number 10 Snapper. So line out, Dragons. What can the Exiles do here to win the ball back? Can they disturb this Dragons line out? Got John Donnan, who has put his hands up and has won indeed the ball. And we see a neat little grubber there from the Exiles. So turnover ball in favour of the Exiles. Neat grubber. Get the ball back into the 22 of the Dragons territory. Dragons have taken a quick line out and given it to their big centre again. He's busted and up and under, which was looking for the actual, looking for touch. However, the number 14 for the Exiles may have unfortunately been put off from the Dragons player, taking his eye off the ball very slightly. So the ball's put into touch, and the Dragons have picked up the ball, taken neatly, trying to bust through the middle here. Got some carries, got some football skills going here, but straight into the white bodies. And unfortunately, Dragons have been deemed to have knocked the ball on, resulting in a white scrum. Game finally poised here. 23 points to 21 in favour of the Dragons. Boys in blue have come flying out the blocks in the second half showdown between this all Dubai affair. So, scrum down 10 metres into the Dragons half here, slightly right of centre. So, a great setup here for Exiles, but where we see the Exiles backs conferring on the calls. I'm sure that they're deciding on. So approximately coming up to the 10-minute mark in the second half. And we've seen some excellent rugby here. No doubt a move we see there in inside scissors over the gain line, but unfortunately Exiles have lost the ball. Turnover ball to the Dragons, who've opted to kick over the top. Outside centre for Exiles, opting to give the ball in the middle. We see a trip an off-the-ball incident there, which I don't think the referee has seen. But we've got some tennis being favoured here from kick tennis. Looking for touch, looking for the middle of the field, trying to relieve the pressure. We see another curling right ball fading towards the touchline, but Exiles having a kick for touch. Not getting the desired result that the Exiles kicker wanted. We see a substitution happening here for the Exiles. Number 14, Marco de Roux, has come off for the Exiles and has been substituted. Restart, line out. Number 14, bumping off the Exiles here. It's running with some serious intent. The Dragons 14. I'd like to say the team sheet says Gary Andrews. Really causing some upset there and pushing this Exiles defence back. Exiles being tested here. It really is turning into quite a physical battle, along with some balls in the air, a few chest moves. Testing each other for their catching skills. However, the Exiles have been penalised in the middle of the park, resulting in a penalty to the Dragons, who are opting for a kick with the boot of Snetler, who has once again turned up and slotted straight through the posts. Approximately 7 meters outside the Exiles 22. Done the job, but this looks like pressure that they're converting. So another 3 points there, puts them 5 points adrift from the Exiles. 26 to the Dragons, plays 21 to the Exiles. So we see another substitution happening here. With the restart happening, some serious hands here from the Dragons. Lovely one-handed pickup from the Exiles fullback. Tried a cheeky backhanded offload, which resulted in a turnover for the number 8 for the Dragons. Pressure here for the Exiles. They need to turn this ball over. There's a high tackle there, unfortunately, on the number 10. He was dipping, so unfortunately that was the Exiles captain, John Donnan. Which has resulted in a yellow card for the Exile skipper. Unfortunately, he didn't get his technique right there, and high tackle deemed on the Dragons. So Dragons opting to kick for touch this time, trying to work this game increasingly as they have really turned the screw in the second half here. So opted for a line out, low collect there, and of course a catch and drive is the option. However, they've been driven back there neatly by the Exiles. Exiles not giving up here. They've snapped back, coming on the right-hand side for an easy 1-2 pass try. Exiles not spotting this. So we finally have the Dragons being heard, making themselves heard in this game. Exiles not giving up here. They've snapped back, coming on the right-hand side for an easy 1. Where the Exiles have not really spotted that. And we see 5 points on the board, again to the boys in blue. So they're really notching up some points here. Their second try in this half, I believe. So Exiles currently, prior to this conversion kick, 10 points adrift. But unfortunately Sletna doesn't get this one right and is not able to add another 2 to the tally. So 31 plays 21. But the Exiles still got it within them. They've just got to stick to their structure. But they seem to have not soaked up, haven't unfortunately soaked up the pressure and been able to kind of turn this game around in their favour. So the restart sees a nice high ball, collected and into touch. Superb hit there by the Exiles number 8. Big man Jay. So a great testing kick there, right by touch, which the Dragons couldn't deal with effectively. So Exiles wanting to work one of their routines here. What's Mr. Genn got up his sleeve? Is he going to go? Unfortunately, he doesn't get it right. The communication's not good. However, after turning the ball over in the line out, there was a fumble and knock on by the Dragons. Ball's been gone back into the hands of the white shirts, who were trying to be a little bit clever here and kind of chipping over the top when it probably wasn't on. However, Stapley was lucky there. As there was a prior knock-on by the Dragons after winning the line-out ball. So scrum down, white ball. Exiles need to get their thinking caps on here. They've got 10 points to make up to get level. Arthur puts the ball in. First receiver, Liam Caldwell, busting through the gain line. However, it looks like the ball's been turned over. A little bit too easy that from the Exiles, taking their foot off the accelerator here, letting the Dragons back into this game. We're spinning the ball out from left to right. However, I'm sure a double tackle there has resulted in the Dragons being brought down. But Dragons advancing nicely here, halfway line. Some good hands here, fast hands. That it looks like a forward pass. And it unfortunately is for the Dragons. A little bit too eager out on the left-hand wing. Exiles need to get a grip of this game now. Time off. We see a little bit of medical attention needed here. So both props, number 1 for the Dragon and one of the Exiles props, Taz Mursel. Hobbling carefully back to the mark, where time has come back on. Good game, liking this. Really swinging one way and t'other. So the forward pass resulted in a Exile scrum. Ball spun out by Arthur. Unfortunately, we have some slippery hands here from the outside centre for Exiles. Wasn't able to hang on to that. Not much moisture in the air, so couldn't really put that one down to the humidity, but unfortunately wasn't able to hold on to the fast pass that came out from the first receiver and knocked the ball on, unfortunately. Scrum down, blue ball. So we've got the Dragons pack today. Colin Jackson at 1, Lewis Anderson, hooker, Ben Harrison-Price at 3, Connor Horan at 4, Clark Smith at 5, flankers Philip Leader and Charlie Woodbridge, and the Dragons number 8, Sam Yawayawa. Hope I got that right. Backs today for the Dragons. Scrum half, Alistair Hazel. Ever reliable Andre Snetler for the Dragons at number 10. Keelan Stale. On the left wing, Chanley Williams as inside centre. Thomas Pascoe as outside centre. Gary Andrews on the right wing. And Carl Brown at 15 for the boys in blue. For the Exiles, Tom Stapley at 10, Liam Caldwell at 12, inside centre. Thomas Affley was the Exiles player, where unfortunately just knocked the ball on. Marco De Roo, who has been substituted, started off at 14. Archie Hossack at the back, clearing, sweeping as the fullback for the Exiles. So we have the Dragons, who have actually got the ball out to the left from that scrum, opting for some neat tips there, getting the ball moving. They've snapped back over to the left to try and work this Exiles defence. Unfortunately, we saw somebody trying to clear out there from the Exiles, deemed off his feet, resulting in a Dragons penalty. Exiles really need to stay disciplined here if they're going to bring this 10-point deficit at the moment down. Little over halfway for the rest of the match. clock showing 22 minutes. So the Exiles do have a whole half of a half to work this out. Body language seems to not be too positive for the boys in white. They need to make sure that they pick each other up here. There was a lot of talk in the first half. Tails were up. But it's been a little bit quieter from the Exiles here. Liam Caldwell there, inside centre for Exiles, needing a bit of attention, back on his feet. Good to see. Want to see him squaring up and making some darting straight runs, but the restart sees Dragons line out with a driving maul, still on their feet, very neatly, advancing ever so neatly to the Exiles try line here. 5 meters out, and we see a knock-on from the Dragons. So a little bit of an error there from the driving maul, it seems. But good intent, trying to take the game to the Exiles. But got that one wrong, unfortunately. So new head coach this year for the Exiles, Durant Herber. An ex-First 15 player for the Exiles for many years, a formidable number 10, having had international experience in Italy, I believe. One of the main rugby masters over at Dubai English Speaking College. One of the known schools on the Schoolboy network, where incidentally many of the Exiles tend to have the under-18s join into the men's section of the Exiles. So the restart sees an Exiles put in, where unfortunately we have some really scrappy hands here from the Exiles, where the ball is out of everybody's hands. It's on the floor. Nobody wanted it. A bit scrappy there. But Exiles opting to run it there, which is a slightly odd decision. However, they were backing their runners to make the yards there, but unfortunately couldn't. First was a knock-on by the Exiles, and then I believe there was further knock-ons by Dragons. And I'm sure the referee will take first one. We see some substitutions here from the Exiles. Seemingly in the backs. So this is a dangerous position for the Exiles. How are they going to defend this? We've got a scrum right in front of the posts, 5 meters out. This is danger territory for them, and should be very easy for the Dragons, who've given it to their big man. who has scored another try. So this game is unfortunately looking like it's being put out of the reach of the Dubai Exiles. And should be very easy for the Dragons. But I believe that was a number 8 pickup. And nobody wanted to stop him from the Exiles. Loose defence. And it was an easy run-in for the Dragons. So a kick right in front of the posts. Makes it another 2 for Snetler. Apologies, I think that was the number 15 for the boys in blue.
Come on, Luke.
Kyle Brown.
Luke, your ball.
An easy 2. So 38 plays 21. Now 17 points adrift to Dubai Exiles. They've got to make something happen. They've got to start turning this ball over. An attempt there to push this blue attack back, rather, by the white defence. Nice up and under, which is unfortunately not collected by the Exiles. We've got the number 13 here for the Dragons, who just picked up the loose balls, driving through, wanted to have the try himself, but unfortunately was brought down by the Exiles defenders. Blues still retain the ball. Speedy pass that went out to the 15. The 15 put a neat kick pass over to the left-hand side. However, I think advantage will be played here. As we saw, unfortunately, the Dragons not being able to collect that very neatly weighted kick pass. By the Dragons 15, it seemed. Exiles don't seem to have an answer here at the moment. They need one of their experienced guys to really talk everyone through it. They need to regroup. They need to rethink how they're going to get these 17 points first and foremost. And here they've got to start. They've got ball in hand. Is the experience of David Gairn, Waddington, Boates, is it going to count? John Donnan is back on the field after his short exodus from the yellow card for the high tackle. Exiles doing what they do best here, getting their phase work moving. They want ball in hand. They don't want to kick. They don't want to give the ball to the Dragons. They don't want to give them any free running opportunities here. Penalty Exiles. So an attempted high catch there, trying to prevent the restarted kick from the penalty. Where the Dragons didn't manage to keep the ball in play. Clock is ticking here. We're into the last 10 minutes, and We have an Exiles line out. We've pushed the ball back. Arthur's got the ball. And unfortunately, this first receive, there's too many handling errors here, unfortunately, for the Exiles. And body language really is not where the Exiles want it to be. They're not upbeat. Few handling errors are really costing them at the moment. Turning over cheap ball. They need to ask some questions of the Dragons, though. They're not really kind of demanding answers from the Dragons. Collapse scrum. It's good front row work there by Exiles. Not opting for a quick tap and go there. But opting for the reliable boot from the Exiles fullback. It's got them up the field though. So territorially, Exiles haven't really pushed their agenda enough in the second half. Since the fast start from the first half, they really need to be taking this game to the Dragons. So Dragons flying up off their line, getting right in the faces of the Exiles' backs. Jean Boates wanting a piece of that. However, he's presented the ball to the left-hand side, and unfortunately, it was a loose pick-up by the Dragons, who have picked up and advancing, staying on their feet, giving it to their big man at number 14. That's a superb jackal there. Unfortunately, David Guerin wasn't able to hold on there. However, we've seen some loose hands here from the Dragons, but recollected and rather neatly put out into touch. Exiles haven't got an answer here at the moment. Somebody's got to put their hand up and be counted. Boys in white still searching. Dragons tail up. But the Dragons really have competed. Neat line-out routine there from the Exiles. They're opting to run it, ball in hand. Great drive. Unfortunately, this really is an open ball that's been put into the middle of the park, and we've got an unfortunate hospital pass from the Dragons number 11. So we're into the last 5 minutes of this game. Dragons all over the Exiles. Exiles, no answer. Haven't been able to take the game back to the Dragons. Dragons having capitalized on cheap mistakes. Exiles have taken their opportunities but haven't created many in the second half. So this really has been a game of two halves. Dragons coming back into the first half. With 1 minute to go, we're 1 point up from memory, 16-15. And in the closing seconds, closing minute of the first half, the Exiles put a try back on the board to lead going into the second half, but something's happened for the Dragons at half-time. Some words have been said, something's clicked, and they've had all the game pretty much in the second half. So we see blindside run on the right-hand side for the Exiles. They've still got possession, but is this enough time for them really to be able to get the points required on the board? It's a mountain to climb for the boys in white. We've got the boys spinning the ball out to the left. Lovely dummy by the 15. Lovely hands there from the Exiles. A great tackle there on the touchline. Pushed his own player away. Rolling towards the to the try line. This has got to be a try for the Exiles. Who wants it? Who's going to stand up? Who's going to be counted here? Who's going to finish this for the Exiles? Less than a metre out. Spinning it out right. Who's going to finish this? One pass and a try. Unfortunately, that pass didn't go. If it had done, that was a try. Exiles still a retained ball, but they're now on the far side of the field. Still ball in hand. Unfortunately, the ball has deemed to be knocked on by the Exiles. That was really not what the Exiles wanted there. Great pressure from the Dragons. Beautiful advancing play there from the Exiles, but couldn't finish it. Creating pressure, not finishing is not going to put you points on the board. So we're into the last few minutes of this game. This game has been put way out of reach by the Dragons, creating that early pressure in the second half. Unfortunately, no answers from the Exiles boys today, unfortunately. So into the last few minutes. Dragons ball, where the ball's gone back, a little bit of a fumble. Great block there by the Exiles. Ball wanting to be put into touch to try and kill the game off, I suppose, but we have some dancing feet here from the Exiles player. Skipping his way around a lot of the Dragons defence here. Exiles, can they finish on a high? Can they put this try on the board? Ball's come out to the back, come out left to Caldwell. Caldwell's spun out to the fullback. Fullback's put it out to the left wing. There must be an opportunity for a try here. And there is. From the left winger for the Exiles. Finally converting that pressure into points. Well, Caldwell's spun out to the fullback. Fullback's put it out to the left wing. There must be an opportunity for a try here. Game to the Dragons a little bit more earlier on in the second half. But certainly, it's been a brilliant game today between these two Dubai teams. Got a conversion kick for the Exiles fullback, way out from the left. Unfortunately, not getting over the crossbar. So unfortunately, too little, too late from the Exiles. Tough game for the Exiles, who had a fast start here, but the Dragons really picked up the tempo in the second half. In fact, picked up the tempo in the first half to almost get their noses in front at the halfway stage, but they came out racing out of the blocks in the second half and have maintained that pressure all the way throughout. So at the restart, we see Exiles now doing what they do best, which is taking their phase play. Beautiful kind of chip over the player there from Jack for the Exiles. But an unfortunate knock on there. And there we have it. Full-time whistle. Dragons have beaten the Dubai Exiles by 38 points to 26. The game really has swung one way and the other. Early on, fast start, both sides. Halfway stage, neck and neck. Dragons came out the blocks, flying out the blocks with an early try in the second half and just really kept the pressure up. It's been a brilliant game today and something that maybe the Exiles were not wishing for, but certainly the Dragons were. Very well done to them, well done to both sides, some beautiful rugby. Signing off for this West Asia Premiership match with the Dubai Dragons beating the Dubai Exiles. Until next week, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.
Get ready for the world's greatest adventure. The FFP World Tour 2026. A year-long journey to 36 destinations, packed with fitness, sport, wellness, and unforgettable adventures. Each destination will be under the spotlight. 10 days of activations, events, challenges, and your chance to connect with like-minded people. The tour is led by the Chief Adventure Officer, who will travel the world for 12 months, discovering, exploring, and sharing the best experiences along the way. The CAO will be joined by 100 ambassadors throughout the world to connect with the people and inspire their city. Want to get involved? Simply register as a user or a member on our website or tag FFP Travels when posting content of the places you visit and the people you meet. It's that easy. This is more than just a tour. This is the world's greatest adventure. Get ready for the world's greatest adventure.